Hey guys, I'm sorry if this camera is kind of skew-if. It looks really skew-if to me, but maybe it isn't. So today's video is going to be a storytime video. I'm really obsessed with storytime videos at the moment. I just keep watching everyone's, so I thought why not tell one of my own. This story is about a guy who I didn't meet him, he kind of met me on a train, and it was in my first year of university. I've just finished my second year, so it was about a year and a half ago, I want to say, and I'll just start from where it happened. So I was on the train, and I get the train every day to university. It takes me 40 minutes. My stop is stop A, then there's stop B, which is 10 minutes away, there's stop C, which is 20 minutes from B, and then there's D, which is where I get off. And this story takes place at stop C, so I was about to get off the train in 10 minutes. So this train, I think I got it at 9:30 in the morning, so it's obviously past rush hour, it's never too busy. It was 5 coaches, so I obviously know my train really well, and I know when it's 5 coaches you never really have to sit next to anyone. So I was just sat by myself, and by the time I got to stop C it was around 10:10 because I usually get off at 10:20, and I was just sat in the window seat going forwards on the train. There was a few seats around me, everyone was sat by themselves. I hadn't seen anyone who was sat with anyone else, and there were empty seats as well. So usually by the time you pull into the station, people get off, people get on, they sit down, and by the time everyone's sat down, that's generally when the train will start moving. I was just looking out the window at the time, but I saw someone kind of walk down the aisle. So the aisle was to the right of me, there was an empty seat, and then there was the aisle, and I saw someone walk down the aisle, but for some reason I knew it wasn't one of the train staff, so I just kind of glimpsed at who it was. So they walked past, and they probably got about 4 or 5 seats in front of me, and for some reason I looked, but it was kind of through the little gap in the seats in front, and they just happened to look straight back at me. I just kept looking out the window, and then I must have had my bag on my seat, but usually obviously if anyone wants to sit there I'll obviously move the bag, but I knew it was not a busy train at all, so I just had my bag there. And there were so many empty seats that no one really should have wanted to sit next to me. So I was just sat looking out the window, and a guy kind of came up. It was the same guy who would just give me the eye contact, who walked all the way down the train and then came all the way back up the train. And then he came next to me, and I saw he was stood there because there was a bit of darkness, and he said, "Excuse me, can I sit there?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So I moved my bag, put it on my knee, and just kept looking out the window. And this guy was kind of, I don't know, he looked really nervous. I can't really explain what he looked like. I think he had kind of black hair. He was younger than me. He was around college age, so 17, 18. And I'm not too sure what he was doing. I thought he should have been at school because it wasn't a school holiday. He had a backpack on. He had like these really piercing eyes. Like, it was kind of scary to look at him. He like looked through you rather than at you. So we kind of had a bit of a creepy aura around him, but I was like, oh, I don't mind, I'm getting off in 10 minutes anyway. He said hi to me, but he seemed really, really nervous, so just being a nice person, I just said, oh, hi. And then I looked out the window again. I thought that was the end of it. I thought that was just because we were sat next to each other. And then he kept kind of being really shifty in his seat. I wasn't looking at him, but I could tell he was just kind of like this and like moving around. And I didn't really know, I could tell he wanted to say something, but I could not gauge what he wanted to say to me. He eventually got up the courage to kind of speak to me, and he said, "Excuse me, will you put makeup on me?" At this point, I genuinely didn't know what to think, because so many things were going through my head, because I thought, well, if this guy does kind of dress up as a woman, maybe it's not my place to say, no, you can't do that. But then the way I was kind of thinking at the time, it kind of came across as a joke, as in I felt like for some reason if I were to put makeup on his face that he would get angry at me or something. It didn't seem very sincere in what he wanted, and I was really confused as to why he wanted to come and sit on a train and ask someone to do his makeup for him. So I said, I'm getting off in, well, it's like less than 10 minutes now. I don't physically have time to put makeup on you. I don't really understand what you want me to do. Well, do you have makeup? Or I can't give you my makeup. I don't carry enough with me. I'm not going to put my makeup on you. And then he grabbed his backpack, and he grabbed a carrier bag out of his backpack, and it's a clear bag. I think it's from the Co-op or something. But you know when a bronzer smashes and it gets over everything, like it kind of coats, if it's in a makeup bag, it kind of coats everything in that kind of orangey powder. It was like that, but he had so much makeup in there. I remember he had a foundation, he had powder, bronzer, he had a lipstick, which kind of surprised me in the colour because it was like bright fluorescent pink, like Nicki Minaj style pink, like the colour of my bag up there. It was so bright, and at this point I was really scared because I was thinking, well, why is this guy asking me? He got this bag of stuff and he threw it, like, he put it on my knee and he was like, please, please, please do my makeup, please. And he was begging me the whole time, and it was really strange because he could probably tell that I was uncomfortable. Just saying no, I was like, I don't really know why you want me to do it. Why can't you, if you want to do it, I can look at you and tell you if you're doing it right. Or I was actually tempted to say, just why don't you watch a YouTube video or something, not mine. But I started looking through all this stuff that he had, and it had tester stickers on it. So he'd also stolen all of this makeup. Saying no, I was basically like, no, I can't, I'm going to university, you know, I can't do your makeup, I don't want to be the one to put it on your face, I'm not a makeup artist. And he said, oh, but I sat next to you because you had really nice makeup. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know how to put it on you. I had this bag of stuff in my hand and I handed it back and I said, seriously, if you want to wear it, then just go to the bathroom and just apply it in there. You have to teach yourself. I can't teach you on the train right now when I'm trying to get to university to put makeup on. He kind of mentioned that he'd skipped college that day. I think he was supposed to go to college and he'd just got on the train and gone to where I go to university. And he's joking about his mum who was living or on holiday somewhere and she didn't know about this. But he just kept pestering me. It got to the point where I had to kind of speak out loud because he was getting really kind of close, and it was just really scary. It was a really scary situation because I couldn't actually leave my seat because I would have had to ask him to move anyway. So I felt kind of trapped in this corner, and he was begging me, like just begging me all the time, like, please just put some lipstick on me, please just foundation, just anything, please just put some foundation on me. And I was saying, like, could you not do it and I'll look at you while you're doing it. I don't really know what to do. I don't, in this situation I literally had no idea what to do. This has never happened to me before. Other people on the train were kind of businessmen. People were kind of starting to look, and the reaction when I finally saw where I was getting off the train, I was like, finally I can leave. But then he got up as well and came in the vestibule as well, and it turns out he was getting off there too. So we stood up, I stood up, I tried to stand up quite early as soon as I saw where I was going. I just stood up because obviously I know kind of when we're near. So I said, excuse me, I'm getting off here, could you move so I can just like get out? And I went into the little vestibule bit, and because I obviously knew we were pulling up, there was a lot of people in there who also knew we were pulling up there. So there's about 3 other guys in there. There was a really tall guy, and I kind of went straight down to the vestibule and I hid behind all these other guys because I think a few of them were the ones who were sat near me anyway, and they kind of could see that I was uncomfortable. But then he kept talking to me. He was talking to me as if he knew me. Didn't seem to be able to read that I was uncomfortable. I wasn't being rude at all, but I probably should have been thinking back, I was thinking, should I have been more harsh or kind of just said, no, I'm going, could you please leave me alone? As we were stepping off the train, he had kept asking me previously whether I would go with him to a bathroom or something and do his makeup for him, and I said no because I did genuinely have to go to university, but my lesson was not for 40 minutes and I was scared that he was going to follow me because obviously universities are for the public, anyone can walk in there. I wasn't planning on meeting my friends until the actual lesson, so I was by myself for that 40 minutes. I remember when he stepped off the train, I kind of let him go first and let him kind of walk which way he was going, and I slowed right down. I think I practically stopped and I called someone on the phone, and I don't know, I just kind of let him go his way. I never saw where he went, and you'd think that was the end of him, but it literally was not. Let me tell you, this happened again with the same guy. This was a month or so later. I was kind of over it, you know, but this was in the reverse journey. So I was going home from university. Bear in mind, this is a completely random time. I think it was around 3:30, 4. This guy had said that he didn't go to college or whatever where my university was, and this was a different train company. It didn't actually go to the same stops. It did go to his stop, but it didn't go to where I live. I had to change trains. So this was a completely different train, completely different time, different day of the week, just everything like that. It just didn't, it was the least likely time I thought I would have seen him again. So this train again, it wasn't very busy. I knew it wouldn't be very busy, so I got on early because it gets in around half an hour early. So I'd finished my lesson, I'd just gone straight to the train. I was sat there, I think I was on my iPad just on a game or something. And we were just sat in the station, and I can't remember if I was sat on the aisle seat or the window seat. I think I was on the window seat, but I was on the other side this time, kind of I would be going backwards on the train. And I'd sat there, and then I saw someone kind of move again, just like when people are getting on the train, you don't always look at who they are, but you can see people getting on and stuff, so you occasionally just like look because it's movement. And I saw this guy, and he was looking a bit, I don't know, I didn't look at him, but I could see there was someone who was a bit shifty as to seeing where they were going to sit. They were just kind of hovering over different seats and not really knowing what to do, but every seat was empty. I was sat on the right, and then to the left of me there was a guy on the other window seat, so there was his aisle seat and my aisle seat were both free. And this guy came and just like, he just like threw himself on this guy's chair. I just carried on my iPad, I didn't really look at who it was until I could see that someone was kind of looking at me. So I looked up, and it was the same guy. He had the same backpack on, different outfit, but same crazy eyes. The way he was looking at me, I knew that he didn't recognise me. He said, "Excuse me," and I was saying, oh, in my head I was like, oh no, this is gonna happen again to me. And he said, "Excuse me, will you put makeup on me?" And bear in mind, he wasn't sat next to me, he was sat over the aisle, so everyone could hear this. He was practically like shouting this at me. I said, "No, I will not put makeup on you. I don't want to put makeup on you." And he started begging again, and at this point I was just kind of thinking maybe I was too, not easy on him, but maybe I should just be more blunt with what I want to say and just say no. So I just said, "No, I will not put makeup on you." And then he kind of got the message, and he eventually he got up and he left. I did feel bad in a way, but then at the same time, if someone's genuinely uncomfortable with one of your requests, why would you keep pestering them? I'd assumed that by the first time I met him, he got off the train, I thought he would just go and put makeup on. But on this other day, when he'd clearly been there the whole day, he was coming back at 3 o'clock, he had no makeup on. I was a bit confused as to why he would do something like that. I thought he wanted to go to the city to kind of do it, but then I didn't understand why he would want to have done it on the way to his house if he was uncomfortable of doing it where he lives. So I think that's pretty much the end of my makeup story. I do have a little add-on in the sense that one of my mum's friend's daughters goes to the same university as me, and she saw the same guy and he asked her the same question. That is the end of my story of the guy on the train. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I probably do have some more storytime videos if you guys want them. I'm trying to think of some topics. I can never think of stories on the top of my head. So if you guys like this video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment if you want any other videos from me that are kind of storytime videos, and give me a topic down below. But yeah, apart from that, I will talk to you guys in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this different video today, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye!